Ladies and gentlemen, this is Potsquatch's Cannabis Kitchen. Welcome to the show. A show where we teach you to grow weed. Well, no, we don't actually. We teach you to cook it and then eat it. Welcome to the show. Woo! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is part number two. Part number two of episode 1 of Potsquatch's Cannabis Kitchen. So, for those of you who have seen part 1 that we released last night there, we made this beautiful cinnamon beer loaf. Now, obviously, this has been cooling overnight there, so we're just going to unwrap it a bit here and get that ready to go. So, part 2, we're taking this infused cinnamon beer loaf, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be making it into some delectable French toast that's also infused for you to eat, enjoy. It's going to taste good, and then it's also, you know, well, it's going to make you feel good, if you know what I'm saying. So look at that, though. We got our beautiful, moist cinnamon beer loaf. Oh, smells amazing. My God. Made that last night there in part 1. Okay, so this is not necessarily your typical French toast recipe. As all of you know, it's already atypical because it's got pot in it, right? So, what are we going to need for that? Well, we're going to need some vanilla extract there. This one's artificial. It's vastly more inexpensive than using high-end like Madagascar vanilla extract, because my God, that shit can be expensive, especially here in Canada. Okay? Forgive the sounds of the dishwasher in the background. It's just going on. We're going to need some milk. So we got the milk there. Going to need some eggs. We got the eggs. You know what else we're going to need? Well, we're also going to need a can of butter. I'm going to use some real butter too there for this to help cut that butter down. Because as we all shared in part 1, this can of butter I made has 14.4 grams of keef or unpressed hash, if you will, put into 1 pound of butter. So that means it's extremely, extremely potent there, my friends. Now, brown sugar is another thing that we're going to put into this. There we go. So let me cover this. We got our extract, got our sugar, our milk, and our eggs. All right, so you're going to need a frying pan as well. So we're going to grab that out there. All right, so we're just going to make a small portion of this because it's just me here right now. So we got a little skillet here ready to go. So first things first, we're going to make up our tasty little French toast mix here. So that'll come later. All right, so first what we're going to need to do is going to crack an egg. If you're just doing a single portion for yourselves, don't crack more than 1 egg, okay? You know, always portion control, then you're not going to be wasting food, and that's always a good thing there. So we're cracking our little egg in here. Careful not to get any shells. I got some piece of shell in there, so then I got it up. There we go, good to go. Now remember, you can always keep your eggshells, bake them and powder them, and use them as either a slow-release calcium supplement by top dressing or make a tea out of them. And that's for your plants, obviously. So, we got 1 egg in there. What's next? Well, I'm going to put a little brown sugar in there. I'm going to go, you know, I'm just going to go like that. There we go. This is one of those recipes where you don't have to be afraid of accidentally putting in too much sugar or vanilla extract, because that's going to make it taste good here. Let's show you real quick there the amount of brown sugar we put in there. Let's see there. There you go. All right, so we got that there now. There we go. Put this back down here. All right. So, next, I'm going to put in some vanilla extract. And again, more like a beep. That'd probably be good, but beep, just for good measure, you know what I'm saying? Another thing you can add, instead of using regular milk, you could use some chocolate milk, yeah, because that shit's going to make it fucking taste good, you know what I'm saying? A nice and chocolatey infusion there. We're going to be using normal milk today. I'm using what we call homogenized milk here in Canada. 3.25%. More fat? What does that mean? Well, more fucking flavor, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So I'm going to put a little bit of milk in there. There we go. Now, I'm going to give that a nice big stir and beat that up real nice. You can just use a fork. You don't need a dirty or whisk for this. It's not like we really need a whisk. So first, break your little egg yolk. And then we're just going to get that going there. Get all that sugar dissolving up in there. Getting that sugar dissolving. Beating up that egg. Getting in that vanilla extract, incorporating that fucking shit, right? Pretty good. Pretty good, you know what I'm saying? So there we go. Now, at this point, if you wanted to add a little extra kick into this infused recipe, you could take something like this, if I can find it. Let's see here. I got it here somewhere, I think. There it is. Now this is olive oil that has been infused with rosin. So this is about a 500 milliliter? No, maybe 400. 25 cl. What is that? I don't fucking know. Doesn't really matter. It's this size. But anyway, I put about 1.5 grams to 2 grams of rosin infused into this. If you wanted to, I'm going to go careful on this one because I still got to function for the rest of the day today. So you could put a few drops of this or something like this nature in there. We will cover in a future episode how to make that too. But for now, we don't need to. Oh, I'm going to put these eggs away. We're done with the eggs. So, throwing the eggs back in the fridge there so we don't let them go bad, okay? So, what do we need to do now? Well, we're going to need to heat this skillet up, I'll tell you that. So, I'm going to turn it up to about 5, okay? Probably going to turn it down to about a 4, but for the preheating on that skillet there, man, you know what I'm saying? We're going to put it at a 5, okay? Now, what do you need for French toast? Well, obviously you need bread. So we've got our beautiful beer loaf here, and we're going to cut into this for the first time here, my friends. So I'm going to take a nice long slice in the middle. With this recipe, I mean, it is a little crumbly, so be a little bit gentle when you're first starting out, because you want to try to keep that nice, perfect loaf shape intact. Now, since we're soaking this in our wonderful magical mixture there, okay, keeping it on the thinner side is usually a good idea, okay? So, I'm just going to try to very gently get a nice thin slice here out of our loaf. There we go. All right, we've made it through. All right, so here's the inside of our beautiful beer loaf that we made yesterday. Look at that. Oh yeah, infused cinnamon beer loaf there. And so now we've got a nice little long slice there. So I'm just gonna cut that one in half, just to make it fit in the pan a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? There we go. So now, letting our skillet heat up there. I probably should have turned it on a couple minutes ago. So, you know what? Why don't I pause this for a second? When it's hot, I'll turn it back on. Be right back, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our skillet there is finally starting to get kind of hot. I'm probably going to keep it on 5, just because we're going to try to cook this quickly there for, keeping the video a little bit shorter. Part 1 obviously was quite long yesterday. So, here we go. Of course, my spatula is in the dishwasher there, but that's all right. We can use a little fork here, and that'll work. Okay, so first things first, we're going to take some normal butter and put that into the skillet there. But then we're also going to take a little bit of our can of butter here, if we can get any out. Given the super strength of this shit, I'm not going to put too much of this in there, because again, like I said, this is dangerously potent. And one of the tricks is if you make an extremely potent can of butter, you can cut it in, like I was saying in part 1, right? Normal butter, and that's going to help to minimize, okay, the taste for those of you out there who are a little bit more sensitive, okay, to the taste of cannabis. So, I'm going to take a little bread here, I'm just going to soak it in there. We're just gently moving it around. Getting that cinnamon beer loaf that's infused there. Getting that to infuse out with our nice brown sugar, vanilla extract, milk, and egg mixture there. Making sure that bread's getting nice and saturated, because that's where we're going to get that super nice moist insides there. It's going to taste real good, okay? So boom, there's one. Boom, I'm going to throw it down there. I'm going to go grab the other half there, do the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Doing the same bloody thing there. And we're just making sure it's saturated, being gentle, because we don't want our bread to break down, but we do want it to get nice and filled with all the wonderful, juicy goodness. You know what I'm saying? Very good. Very tasty. And once you get that proper saturation, that's what's going to make your French toast taste extra beautiful and special here. When you first put it in, you can move it around there, get to know the butter, you know. All that can of butter in there. I'm going to rinse my hand off now. All right. So out of 5, you know, it's usually like a couple of minutes aside, really there. But what we're doing right now is just doing a little fry up on that. So what we're going for is we want to have like a nice golden skin on the outside of our cinnamon beer loaf French toast here. And like I said, we infused the loaf, so the loaf's got active goodies in it. And then we're cooking it in a mixture of butter and can of butter. You can really smell that vanilla right now and that brown sugar activating. But you can also smell those wonderful, beautiful, notes that is coming off of this French toast here from the can of butter. Can of butter notes, baby. That's right. I'm just sort of scooching it around in my pan there, making sure it's getting to know its friends. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, when you're done, when we finish this, we can actually dump that butter on top as well. And then we don't have to butter it afterwards. We just dump that butter on top, and then we're going to put a little syrup on there, and we will be ready to rock and roll. I'll tell you. My goodness gracious me, my friends. This is going to be good. It's going to taste good. And it's going to have a fucking lap hook, I'll tell you. So, now it's going to take a little look here. See how we're going there. Nope, we're going to keep that going for a bit there. Yep, just not even starting there. So we're going to let that sit for a minute there. There we go. Maybe I'll turn it up even a little bit, just even get it going a little quicker. It's okay to turn the temperature up on this, but you gotta keep your eye on it and be careful, because you don't want to accidentally kill your French toast that you've been working so hard on making there. I guess for now I can have a beer while I'm waiting for this to cook, you know. But this is the breakfast of champions, or at least at bare minimum, the breakfast of stoners. And like I said, you know, I like to approach food when we put weed into it. I like to still try to make it taste good, you know. Because just because you're putting weed in something, okay, doesn't mean it needs to taste horrible. Doesn't mean it's going to taste like crap, okay. It's all about how we approach cooking with cannabis, okay. And that's the big thing, you know, back in the day, none of us ever worried about that. When I first made pot cookies or pot brownies when I was a young teenager, you know, my God, it was like eating a walking bud, you know. But over the years, I've been experimenting around, playing around with different things, and kind of come up with a lot of fun different ways that we can, in fact, get this to work without there being too much issue here. Obviously, having a spatula. Oh, there we go. We got a nice crusting happening here. There we go. Let's take a shot of that. Tastes sweet, tastes good. Got a nice little chai going on there. You see what I'm saying? Nice little crispy outside, but we're going to have a nice smushy inside on this, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So now, we're just waiting for this to finish up. You can go like that, give it another shake there, get it around the pan, you know what I'm saying? And then, obviously, while our food's finishing, grab our plate that we're going to serve it on. Get that ready to go, right? I'm going to turn this back down to 5 now, because I can smell that it's a smidge hot there. I can smell the sugar starting to, well, burn, caramelize, kind of a bit of both, really. But we're just trying to make this a little bit quicker for your viewing pleasure, right? So obviously, at home, I would typically do this because I'm not in a rush in terms of keeping this going at a good time there. See, yeah, we already got a nice skin coming on that other side, so I'm just going to do that other original side a bit more. I'd probably do this at about a 4, 4.5, because I'm not under the gun. That's just the dogs being silly in the background. I apologize for them. But, you know, it's really going to go well. It's going to turn out nice. So, we'll time this with a sip or two of beer, and it should be ready. No, I think it's ready. All right. So, see that? Nice and charred there. I'm going to pull that off there. Pull this off there too. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Now, I'm going to take that extra butter. We're just going to dump it right onto you. Right onto that French toast there, my friends, okay? Move that over to the side. Now, for a little extra kick, I mean, the reason why I make this with the brown sugar and the vanilla is when you do this recipe, you don't actually have to add syrup or anything to it. This on its own is going to be a nice, sweet, tasty treat, okay? But, just for the fun, the big kid in me, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of syrup on there. There we go. There we go. And my friends, there you have it. Bloody simple. It ain't rocket science. May not be the prettiest thing in the world, but my friends, this is cinnamon infused beer loaf, infused French toast with the Potsquatch. Potsquatch's very own recipe. Now, might be a little hot, but let's see what happens here. Let's take a bite here for everybody. Okay, getting in there. Get nice. Let's get one of those middle bits there. All right. Let's see here. They smell good. It's a bit hot. That's good. That's good. Oh, it's good. And you know, there are subtle points of weed to it, but almost not even existing on there. There's a subtle weed taste. Very subtle though. You know, if you served this to someone and didn't tell them, there's a very good chance they wouldn't even detect the weed taste. I mean, I know to look out for it, right? But it's got a nice, sweet, crunchy, crisp outside and a nice, juicy interior, not exterior. The exterior is the crispy bottom. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, simple recipe. Takes a bit of time. You know, make your bread, let it cool, make up your mix. Breakfast of champions. I like to serve it with a beer, but that's typically how I serve most things. But anyway, everybody, thank you for tuning in to part 2 of Potsquatch's Cannabis Kitchen. This is the completion of episode 1. It comes in 2 parts because part 1, well, it took a long bloody time. It's like over 30 minutes. So check it out, try it out. It works. It tastes good. And boy, God, it'll get the job done there, my friends. And remember, if you make super powerful canna butter, then cut it into doma butter. You'll help to reduce some of those weed flavors. All right? Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for liking and subscribing and supporting this channel. This is the first episode of a new segment we're doing here on the channel. Just try to step up our work for you and do a better job for you. We're going to start releasing these episodes every Friday. So that's right. Cooking show is Fridays now. We have our Wednesday live streams at 2 p.m. BC time, and then our Sunday Fun Day live streams every Sunday starting at 3 p.m. BC time. And of course, then all of the, weekly videos, updates, and, the occasional how-to video on top of the cooking channel. All right? All right. Check out PotsquatchGrowers.com for all your swag needs. Soon to be our online garden supply store, too. Working on getting that started for you. Check out Squatch Lighting Systems. You want to grow like Squatch? Well, that's a great place to start. We're 2 little companies, Soul Strip and Potsquatch Growers, working together for you. We are growers, building lights for growers, and making affordable, professional-grade tech that's reliable, fixable, dependable, with customer service second to none. Why? Because we're growers, too, and we give a shit about you. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Love you.